This video is supported by Golden Era Muscle. Please visit goldeneramuscle.com for training information and supplements. Hi everybody, Golden Era Bookworm here. Today I'd like to continue on the topic of the androgen content in egg yolks and actually calculate for you the amount of androgens that you could actually take from having 36 eggs a day on the 36 eggs a day diet. Now this video obviously follows from my previous videos, which showed the androgen profile of hormones in the egg yolk. So the paper that I continually reference is Yolk Concentrations of Hormones and Glucose and Egg Weight and Egg Dimensions in Unincubated Chicken Eggs in Relation to Egg Sex and Hen Body Weight, published in 2013. And as you can briefly see, I'll just show you again the androgenic profile of the hormones that are found in egg yolk with testosterone, androstenedione and dihydrotestosterone listed. Now I've subsequently, if you haven't seen it, made another video where, okay, it's great that the yolk contains these androgenic hormones, but the question was whether these could actually be absorbed by the human body if we are actually ingesting them. And I mean, theoretically, I showed that I believe that they can be, because only crystalline testosterone, that is in an aqueous or water-like solution, would, although it would be absorbed well into the digestion, into the digestive system, it would have to bypass the liver, and therefore crystalline testosterone would actually be broken down. However, what I showed in that previous video was that if the actual hormone is delivered with fatty lipids, as it would be with an egg, because the testosterone would be in the yolk, then it would bypass the liver. And studies have shown that when testosterone orally administered is actually taken with a high lipid meal, then it would actually be absorbed. And so now let's have a look at the big question. How much androgenic hormones would you actually absorb on a 36 eggs a day diet? So the androgen doses from 36 eggs would have to be calculated using the previous table on the previous page. Now remember that the concentrations were given in this study in picogram per milligram, as listed in the first column on this table. So for example, testosterone, you only get 9.5 picograms per milligram of yolk, but one yolk weighs 20 grams, which is the equivalent of 20,000 milligrams. And so if you wanted to calculate the amount of testosterone in one yolk, you would have to multiply 9.5 picograms by 20,000, which would give you 190 nanograms. And if you then wanted to calculate that, the amount of testosterone for 36 eggs, you would multiply the 190 nanograms by 36, which gives you 7 milligrams. So you would be receiving 7 milligrams a day, or 50 milligrams a week of testosterone on the 36 egg a day diet. And similarly, you can calculate all the other hormones that are delivered in the 36 eggs a day diet. And by the look of it, although estrogen you actually get 5 milligrams, the rest of the profile is rather androgenic, and I would dare to say anabolic. Again, this is an actual calculation, but whether the theory is true, I don't know. But it does pose an interesting question that I've raised before, actually several questions. And the first major question is obviously, if these androgenic hormones are truly absorbed in the bloodstream, well then they would definitely have an anabolic effect. I mean, just look at the circulating levels of hormones in both males and females. Now I know for a fact that one of my mates in the gym is actually on a low, and I would say a very, very low or mild testosterone cycle, where he actually takes 50 milligrams a week. And I mean, this guy put on about, I think, 15 kilos in 7 months, and that's a hell of a lot of muscle to gain in just a short amount of time. Now I'm not saying that taking 36 eggs a day is going to be equivalent to a testosterone cycle, but um, if it's truly absorbed, then even in the short amount of time that the 36 eggs a day diet goes for, which is only 8 weeks, I'm pretty sure you would have a pretty decent anabolic effect from it. So the questions really still remain, and that is whether these hormones, if they are absorbed, and there's such a high level of them in the diet, what is the half time, and therefore how long do they remain in the bloodstream? And once in the bloodstream, do they bind to sex hormone binding globulin, which would actually inactivate them? How much of these hormones would be free to actually have an anabolic effect? I mean, there's quite a large dose, so there's a chance that it definitely will increase your free androgenic hormone level in the bloodstream. As I mentioned earlier, the ideal experiment would be to trace the hormones in the 36 eggs a day diet to actually see what happens to the hormones once in the bloodstream, and if they really do have a anabolic effect. But I guess my overall theory is, from the androgen profile, seeing that there is the possibility, because they are covered in lipids, that they will be absorbed, and the dose would be so great that you possibly could have an anabolic effect from the 36 eggs a day diet just from the androgens. Now, I'm not even talking about the profile of proteins that are found in eggs, which, by the way, are high in leucine, and leucine is known to activate the mTOR cycle in mitochondria, which is which gives you a very anabolic effect. Leucine is also a myostatin inhibitor. The egg yolk itself contains, I believe, follistatin, which is another myostatin inhibitor. A lot of cholesterol, which are precursors to testosterone. I mean, the list of anabolic, compounds and molecules found in eggs alone, it's a lot. It's a plethora of these micronutrients that are definitely anabolic in total. I mean, the egg, basically, one could consider it being an anabolic superfood. So it really does raise the question whether Vince Gironda was right, and I at least do believe that he was right, just because of the profile of the egg. It's got androgens, and it's got a lot of micronutrients, a lot of cholesterol that could lead to an anabolic effect. Anyway, I will address more of these amino acids, myostatin inhibitors, and other things that are found in eggs in future videos. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't to the Golden Era Bookworm, and let me know your thoughts. And thank you for watching. This is the Golden Era Bookworm. Bye for now.